That's your frontal sinus right there.
Where's that at?
Right here at the top. If that is, okay.
Okay.
Your sphenoid sinuses are in that sphenoid bone right there. That's
Okay.
it.
So all up here?
Yeah, that's the sphenoid bone
Okay.
forming the roof of the cranium, the floor of the cranium, and that's your frontal sinuses in the frontal bone.
The fundal is all the way in the front?
Yeah.
Okay.
Forehead bones, frontal bone, so that's the frontal sinuses.
Okay.
And the sphenoid bone is the floor of the cranium.
Okay.
So those are the
So it's just all from
sphenoid
here and on back?
Yeah, frontal sinuses all back here, and then the sphenoid there. They don't show the ethmoid. You can't see the ethmoid or the maxillary sinuses on this model. Okay? All right, then what we got, the nasal conchae. Let me move, and you get where I was, and then maybe Emily can sit. Okay, the nasal conchae, that's your inferior and middle nasal conchae.
Okay.
They're bony projections that cause the turbulence of air. All right, what's next?
The pharynx and
All right, and the pharynx is just the throat. And with this model, I really don't have a good place to ask the throat. You know, in your notes that y'all did on your own, you had the nasopharynx right behind the nasal cavity. You had the oral pharynx right behind the mouth, the oral cavity. And then the laryngopharynx was this area here that you really can't see right before you get to the larynx, because see, there's your thyroid cartilage, the larynx. This little piece here, okay, goes in there, and there's your thyroid cartilage. All right, so all up in here is your throat. Now when you get to the larynx is where it splits into your esophagus in the back, the trachea in the front, okay?
So
Esophagus.
the larynx is where that splits?
Yeah, right here at the larynx is where it
Okay.
splits. And everything above that is the throat or pharynx, okay?
Okay.
So as far as pharynx, I probably won't ask that on the lab test because there's not a good place to ask it.
Okay. But a good definition is just that it's the throat area?
Yeah.
Okay.
From behind the nasal cavity all the way down to the larynx.
Okay.
All right, so then the next thing, all right, y'all got esophagus. All right, the next thing there is the carina. That's the last tracheal cartilage before it splits into the bronchi. Okay. Last one that goes all the way across.
And then you have the main primary bronchi.
Yeah, and then of course remember the right primary bronchi is going to be on your left side. The left one will be on your right side. I don't really have. I mean, you can see one segmental bronchi, but
So this is main, primary, and then this is
no,
right and left?
no, these are the two primary.
Okay.
The right main is the same thing as primary.
Oh, okay.
Remember, it's been a while since that test.
Yeah.
Okay, the two big branches are the primary or main,
Okay.
and then it starts branching into those others, which you don't have to identify on
gotcha.
here.
Then
Y'all
will
had to
we-
identify it on your test, probably.
Then
that
you'll
test.
just have all these pieces out. Will you have any stickers in here asking?
On the carina, the primary bronchi,
underneath
possibly the
here, then?
diaphragm,
Okay, yeah.
okay, the pancreas. You remember, Jordan, everything up here, see that says human torsion,
Yeah.
all of the above. So
Okay.
the trachea, anything that's up here, you ought to be able to find here.
the
All right, so on the pancreas, remember that main pancreatic duct. It's not on here, but I told y'all in class you needed to know it when we were going over that diagram.
the liver, the forelobe?
All right, let's see what we got. All right, so that goes to where we've already looked. Okay, the lung model. Y'all have any questions on the lungs?
No, it's
You
pretty
got to tell me
low.
right or left if you have to identify it. If I have a sticker on this superior segment right here, or superior lobe, then you got to tell me that's the right superior lobe, because I want to make sure you know right from left.
Okay.
All right. So anything on the lungs, the fissures, the lobes, cardiac notch, apex, face. Now there is some diaphragm showing on here, and diaphragm is listed here.
Right, but
Remember,
then
it's
also
got to be
here.
spelled correctly. Yeah, I could ask it there. I could ask it on the cat, or I could actually ask it on where the base of the lung sits. All right.
Liver model?
Looked at that. Okay, over here too. We looked at the stomach. Okay, liver. All right, now there's two liver models. Let's go look at both of them at the same time,
Okay.
and then y'all won't have to go back there. Is this one yours, Jordan?
Yes, thank you.
Both of them, because there's more than three things, I put 3 questions per station. But anyway, this one is really from the posterior view, so that's good. Anyway, from the front, The big lobe is your right lobe,
Mhm.
okay? And then this smaller lobe over here on the other side of the falciform ligament is the left lobe. And that's pretty much all you have to know from the front is the right, left, and falciform ligament. All right? then-
Falciform ligament divides the right and left.
Correct, and it's just connective tissue, ligament connective tissue. All right, on the back side, of course, you can still see the right lobe. The right one is the largest one, okay? Left one, smaller.
Right.
All right, then you have your caudate lobe right here,
Mhm.
this one right here.
Okay.
Quadrate lobe is this rectangular one.
Caudate's on top.
Caudate's on top, and that kind of opposite, because caudal refers to tail. You don't think about something's tail being on the
Yeah.
top, but the tail of the liver is. All right, then you have your quadrate one, more like a quadrangle down here. This is the round ligament or ligamentum teres. It actually hangs down, but they don't model it hanging down. Okay, it's an extension of
What
that.
is that called?
Ligamentum teres or round ligament, is that not on there?
No, it's just the four lobes, the falciform
Falciform and
lobe.
gallbladder, okay, I guess I took it off to make it easier. Okay, that's the
Gallbladder's
gallbladder.
like
The
bigger.
green thing's gallbladder. Do I have that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I was
that's
thinking
all.
I'd taken the gallbladder off. All right,
And then a
small intestine model right here. All right, so of course, this is a villus, this is villus, this is villus. The capillary network, of course, is on both of them, but they just showed on one so you can see the lacteal. Remember, the lacteal is what's important in absorbing those monosaccharides and fatty
So the
acids.
central lacteal is the yellow.
The yellow.
Okay.
Mhm.
The
The
capillary network is just obvious.
the capillary networks are your veins and arteries, and and it's in all of them, but they just show it in this one over here on the left.
Okay.
So the red and the blue, your arteries and veins, were your capillary network.
Okay.
The intestinal crypt, does it say crypt?
Yeah.
Okay. Or crypt of, I actually had somebody write crypt of Lieberkühn, and they spelled it right one time. I'd put intestinal crypt. Of course, that's blown up. You can see the goblet cells. That's it.
Okay.
And then you're down to the slides.
And then are we questioned on the mouth and teeth? I don't see.
No, I just
Okay.
put that up there for your, these will not be on the lab exam, but just for, if anybody was interested in seeing the model. Here's the other stomach. It's got the same things here, except the layers of muscle. You can't tell what they got there, so I have to
Yeah.
use that other one for the muscle.